Howdy y'all, I'm Mr. B and you're watching my tip talk on topic 2.6, environmental consequences of connectivity. As always, use this video and the others like it to store knowledge nuggets to use for brain vomit, which you can regurgitate onto the LEQ or DBQ and maybe get another point or two on your AP exam. And don't forget my website, mrb.world. Check out the resources I put there just for you. And just like every other content creator begging for attention and validation, make sure you follow me so that you can get notified when I have new tips, and share this video or others with people you think would benefit. So topic 2.6 explores the environmental consequences of connectivity, the growth of trade and the connections it creates in this time period, 1200 to 1450. So let's remember the essential question, but let's play a little game here by treating it like a free response question prompt. Evaluate the extent to which the growth of trade networks had an impact on the environment and natural resources. So our thesis could be, the growth of trade networks had a significant impact on the environment and natural resources by diffusing crops, overusing natural resources, and causing desertification and deforestation. That's how we could start an essay. So, diffusion of crops, let's talk about that. The introduction of bananas to Africa during this period helped improve food security and nutrition for many people. Bananas are high in calories, vitamins, and minerals, which made them an important staple crop for many communities in Africa. New rice varieties were also introduced to East Asia during this time period through the trade networks. New varieties that are more productive than traditional rice and helped increase the agricultural production in the region. You might think champa rice here. The spread of citrus in the Mediterranean was another example of how more connections meant more diffusion of crops. Citrus fruits like lemons, limes, oranges are introduced to the Mediterranean in this time period through trade networks, which these fruits become really popular among European elites as a luxury item, which we should remember leads Europeans later on to try to find ways to get those luxury goods, as well as silk and tea and all that other stuff, directly. This is the European age of exploration. So we got some big picture context here. However, increased agricultural production also put pressure on natural resources like water and soil. The overuse of farmland and deforestation leads to soil erosion and reduced agricultural production in some regions. But we also see the little ice age, some climate change here, which contributed to a decrease in agricultural products. In fact, it contributed to the decline of the Maya in the Americas because of environmental changes, just planetary. So even though there's these challenges environmentally, population still increased with greater availability of crops, like we're going to see in the next era with the Columbian Exchange and with the Industrial Revolution. But increased population put pressure on natural resources like water and food. For example, overgrazing outside of Great Zimbabwe was so severe that people had to abandon the city in the late 1400s. The trans-Sahara trade routes also had a significant impact on the environment because of desertification caused by overgrazing and deforestation along those trade routes. This leads to a decline in natural resources like water and lumber, which has a negative impact on the local population. Connectivity also facilitated the spread of diseases, bubonic plague, that invaded from Central Asia and wiped out much of Europe in the 1340s. This is some context, like some global context. Like the Mongol Empire made more stable trade, made more trade opportunities, new innovations and practices like the camel saddle and the monsoon winds, meant merchants could travel further with more goods, which contributes to environmental impact because of trade, since trade increases and expands. So this is like a contextual thing. Talk about the Mongols, talk about the diffusion of technology and how it impacts trade. So overall, this whole topic highlights positive and negative consequences of environmental impacts. Diffusion of crops like bananas, rice, citrus is a positive impact, but it also puts pressure on natural resources like water and soil, desertification, deforestation, disease. So that pretty well summarizes the whole topic for us. So tune in next time, and thanks for watching.